Good afternoon, St. Petersburg. I'm joining you today from the Palladium, the same beautiful theater where I've had the privilege of delivering my prior State of the City addresses. Today's address, of course, is a little different. There's no audience today, and we're virtual, as the times we find ourselves in have so often necessitated. But in keeping with the tradition that we began in 2014, the show must go on, especially in light of being prevented from delivering last year's address during the opening of the St. Pete Pier. Delivering a State of the City address is important to me. It's an opportunity for me to tell you exactly where we are and where we're going. But this isn't a one-way conversation. This is St. Pete, after all. And your feedback and actions and activism are what help to make us shine. I want to begin by thanking those who also helped to propel St. Pete forward, beginning with our Deputy Mayor, Dr. Kanika Tomlin. Since making history as our first African-American female deputy mayor and city administrator, she has served us with distinction, both within the City Hall and in our community. Thank you to our council members, Chair Ed Montanari, Vice Chair Gina Driscoll, and their colleagues, Robert Blackman, Brandy Gabbard, Darden Rice, Deborah Figg Sanders, Lisa Wheeler Bowman, and Amy Foster. To our remarkable city team, from the administrators to the unsung heroes who keep the city running 24 hours a day, thank you. And I especially want to thank our city's doctors, nurses, healthcare professionals, first responders, educators, and all those who have taken good care of our citizens during this global pandemic. We will never forget your dedication to our community. When describing the state of our city, COVID-19 and its impact on our people, our economy, and our quality of life is, without question, front and center. We've sadly lost too many of our fellow neighbors. We've lost jobs and opportunities, and we've been forced to experience St. Pete, a vibrant, event-focused city, in new and different ways. But the shock of COVID-19 and the stressors that have followed have not broken us, literally or figuratively. Within City Hall, our finances remain strong. Though as we've begun to craft our fiscal year 2022 budget, we are mindful that the full economic effects of COVID have yet to materialize. Outside City Hall, our economy, which has been drastically diversified in recent years thanks to our Grow Smarter economic development strategy, also remains strong, though clearly not as strong as in recent years. Total employment is down, but still higher than where it was just 5 years ago. Not surprisingly, we've seen most of our job losses in the food and hospitality sector, followed by healthcare and social assistance, and then retail. In early 2020, quickly realizing the impact that COVID would have on our small business community, and in particular, our hospitality industry, we created the Fighting Chance Fund, getting more than $6 million into the hands of our small business owners and their employees. These dollars reached every corner of our community and helped to keep business owners and entrepreneurs afloat. We recently heard from one such entrepreneur, an artist, at our recent State of the Economy presentation. Vivia Barron watched as her resources and savings dwindled. She said, quote, "My whole plan and dream for my future was just gone," unquote, until our city's greenhouse stepped in to help and directed her to those Fighting Chance funds. Vivia was able to continue to produce art, which, as you know, we love in St. Pete. Her resilience, the resilience of our entire community, is why I know we'll be okay. It's in our DNA in the Sunshine City. We can be disrupted, but we can't be deterred. It's especially important that we pay attention to Vivia and other minority business owners. A Stanford University survey tells us that early stage losses during COVID-19 had a disproportionate impact, like the virus itself, on African Americans and our Latin and Asian communities. It's for this and many other reasons that we remain fully engaged in our top policy priorities: poverty eradication, opportunity creation, and equity building. Through programs like St. Pete Works, we are getting people back to work, especially in South St. Pete. Through exciting, ambitious ideas like our Deuces Rising plan, we are reimagining the role of the city in redeveloping places and placemaking. As part of the Deuces Rising master plan, the City of St. Petersburg is planning to develop approximately 2.8 acres with affordable townhomes and commercial space. This unique endeavor, with the city as a developer in collaboration with the Sankofa Vision Group, will bring home ownership opportunities and commercial space for entrepreneurs to the historic Deuces. The city is proud to lead and finance this development, which tangibly expresses our commitment to equity and opportunity in traditionally underserved neighborhoods. And we thank our partners for working alongside us to create wealth, mitigate gentrification, and ensure affordability. Likewise, as we continue the process of redeveloping the Tropicana field site, we do so with the goal of protecting this publicly owned land in order to ensure that it benefits the community, our citizens, and not solely private corporations and developers. When we issued the RFP, the request for proposals, for redevelopment proposals, I wrote that this was an unparalleled generational opportunity for us in St. Pete to address many needs, meet many goals, and create a vibrant and unique sense of place accessible to all. Done right, the site will provide jobs, mixed income housing, family-oriented entertainment, art and natural recreation. And of the utmost importance, the site will reconnect to its adjacent neighborhoods and provide much needed green space, capitalizing on the presence of Booker Creek. A community benefit agreement addressing employment goals, living wages, and affordability is paramount if we are to provide opportunity for our residents. And following years of public engagement, city council feedback and participation, and leaning on the expertise of the subject matter experts within our city government, I will soon be picking a developer for the site. And they will be experienced and nimble enough to include or not include land for a future Rays stadium. As I've said time and again, this is our chance to get it right, to right wrongs. Some have said, as they did with the Pier project, that we should hit the pause button, that we should slow this process down. Well, first, it's worth noting that this process has been slow, purposefully deliberate. Some of these voices view this redevelopment as a project rife with challenges and problems. Well, I strongly disagree. I believe this project provides us with a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, an opportunity we must seize now, an opportunity that should not and cannot wait or be postponed. The sooner we can provide jobs and affordable places to live to our residents, the better. And the sooner the Tampa Bay Rays make their desires known, the better. The stadium saga is now more than 13 years old. The Rays have spent more than half their existence trying to figure out where they'd like to play baseball for the long term. They've worked with 3 mayors in St. Pete, 2 in Tampa, and officials in Montreal, yet we are no closer to an answer regarding their future than we were 13 years ago. Look, we love our Rays, but it's time for them to pick a partner and get married. They recently signaled a desire to remain in St. Pete, and I believe that can happen as soon as they choose to sit down with us and have negotiations and discussions that are realistic in their expectations. As we press forward through this pandemic, policies and projects alone won't get us back to normal. We must continue to focus, both during and after the pandemic, on building a culture of health. Staying healthy is more challenging than ever, but it's also more important. A healthier St. Pete can mitigate the effects of COVID and future viruses. We continue to find ways to engage and educate our community with healthy programming through our Healthy St. Pete initiative. In just this last year alone, we partnered in dozens of community events to build on our city's culture of health. The Healthy Kids program taught 75 health and wellness lessons and engaged more than 3,000 children in the community. The Healthy Kids at Home program was created and launched as a virtual engagement mode and offered 10 weeks of virtual nutrition, fitness, and mental health curriculum. Our summer food program at the Dell Homes Park provided more than 1,500 free meals to residents. And alongside 22 community organizations, we work to elevate food security with the goal of creating an equitable, community-based system through the creation of the St. Petersburg Food Policy Council. HealthyStPetefL.com, now in its 7th year of existence, remains the best place to visit to learn more about our Healthy St. Pete initiative. Plus, our city's adopted health in all policies approach to decision-making by both executive order and city council resolution in 2018 is meant to serve as a recognition that all departments have a role to play in ensuring that everyone in our community can live a long and healthy life. Enjoying the outdoors is also how we keep healthy, and it's one of the reasons that we safely opened the new St. Pete Pier in 2020. Residents and visitors now have 26 acres to roam, to explore, to discover, and experience. And while the pier has only been open for 7 months, it has already received considerable acclaim. In addition to your positive feedback and, of course, selfies at the pier, along with numerous industry awards, the St. Pete Pier was recently voted the #2 best new attraction in the nation for 2020, second best only to the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Museum in Colorado. And in our City of the Arts, we can take pride in knowing that the pier provided us with the opportunity to add 5 outstanding pieces of public art to our city's collection, including the recently unveiled monument dedicated to the first commercial airline flight. From the downtown waterfront to the west side and down the Deuces, and everywhere, art is everywhere in St. Pete. Now, a bright spot in 2020 was the installation of the city's first publicly funded bronze statue. It depicts Elder Jordan Sr., greeting residents and welcoming visitors to the historic 22nd Street South Corridor. And our work to honor our past while pursuing our future will continue with the creation of a new monument, which will be located at the former police station site, recognizing in a grand way the contributions of the police department's courageous 12. We've come a long way, St. Pete, and there is so much we can accomplish working together. According to the most recent data, since 2015, we've lowered our poverty rate by 37%. 37%. That's more than double the drop experienced nationally during that time. And in 2014, the poverty rate among African Americans in St. Pete was 35%, and we've cut that in half. In that same year, the poverty gap between black and white was 23%. And as of 2019, that gap is now down to 8%, down almost by 2/3. Progress on poverty eradication means the most to me. I've said this time and again. Buildings are wonderful. We're proud of a pier that brings people together, and we're proud of our new police station, and we're excited about the future of places like the reimagined Boyd Hill Nature Preserve, the President Barack Obama Main Library, or the smart growth we've engineered in places such as the Skyway Marina District. We're also excited about the future of our downtown marina, which is in desperate need of repair, revitalization, and placemaking that complements our pier district. And it will provide us with the opportunity to shore up our downtown seawalls to mitigate against rising tides. And yes, brick and mortar is important, but working to make sure no one in St. Pete lives in poverty, that lives are being made better by the work we do every day, that is the best feeling a mayor can have. It's why I sought and fought for this job 8 years ago. This isn't my success. This is a team effort and must continue to be a team effort in order to sustain our progress and overcome the impact of COVID-19. The work that brought me here, the work that brings our community together, continues. Our vision to be a city of opportunity where the sun shines on all will remain our vision until everyone finds their place in the sun. The recently concluded St. Pete 2050 will get us closer to that reality, while also informing future decisions related to the arts, housing, education, growth and character, sustainability and resilience, and transportation, among other focus areas. Thousands of you contributed your thoughts, ideas, and desires to St. Pete 2050, initially in person and then virtually during these challenging times. And the result is a new and well-informed guide for residents, local officials, developers, business owners, and organizations. It's a common vision for the physical, social, and economic advancement of St. Petersburg, and will coordinate and guide development in appropriate areas of the city. This plan will be used to support everything from comprehensive plan updates and land development regulations to transportation and neighborhood initiatives. And we even received some valuable feedback from our city's youth. So here's just a few. More street art. Make schools better and higher rated. No pollution. Save the trees. Kids, we're on it. And each and every one of these, our street murals make art accessible to all. We've partnered with Pinellas County Schools to help schools transform in our city from failure factories to foundations for a lifetime of success. In fact, our superintendent just reported to us that Pinellas County now leads Florida's 10 biggest school districts in graduation rates, and that's great news. And the achievement gap is shrinking, and that's even better news. We are committed to clean streets and neighborhoods, and we planted more than 1,000 new trees, including more than 500 at the new St. Pete Pier. We are a city of not just plans, but action. Action that can't wait. We recognized early on that we could not wait another second to have a tangible plan to create more affordable and attainable housing. So our Housing for All, from All plan is in effect. And it will take all of us, and it will help so many in our community, from retail workers to retirees, from single-income families to single moms. And we've worked to invest in people and bring dollars and spending power into places such as our South St. Pete Community Redevelopment Area. We knew that we needed to address the other side of the coin, housing availability, and we are, and we will continue to do so. And we are focused on helping people remain in their homes by lowering their energy bill through our investment in organizations like the Solar United Neighbors, or SUN, and the Solar Energy Loan Fund, or SELF. Our investment in SUN alone has brought solar power to more than 200 homes, offsetting more than 31,000 metric tons of lifetime carbon. Jobs are being created and money is being saved. Leading by example, the city has added more than 1 megawatt of capacity on our city facilities, with more solar in the pipeline for 2021. This is progress toward our promise. This progress, this era of progressivism and participation and inclusion in St. Pete has helped to shape and elevate our city and our people, and people around the country and the world have taken note. And we've done it, not through parochialism, but through partnerships. Our region is shining, even on the darkest of days. My thanks to Mayors Buckhorn and Castor, Mayors Creticus and Hibbard, city councils and county commissions on both sides of the bay, who understand that we are stronger together. Whether it's bringing the Cross Bay Ferry here, or combating a global pandemic, or getting our residents vaccinated as quickly and safely as possible. We are capable of so much when we simply work together. Now, I have less than 1 year left to continue my work, and I will keep working to make our community better until they tell me it's time to go. I will depart knowing the state of our city is safer, stronger, and sunnier than I found it, and that the next mayor will have the opportunity to make our city of sunshine and pelicans soar even higher. So thank you, St. Pete, and may God bless each and every one of you and keep you healthy.